Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my budget Seeker deck. So this one is, so basically what I did, and I have two other decks too. I have another budget Regalia one that I'll be posting, and then I have another witch, like a Shadow Paladin, or Shadow Witches that I'm going to be posting. These are the budget ones, so these were built with just the leftover cards that were from either Extra Booster, 11 or 12, or even the Seeker trial deck, as well as leftover like promo cards like this one, which I didn't think I was going to use, but I actually had enough cards left over to build it. So this is what I came up with. So the main legion is 4 of the Seeker Lightsaber Dragon. So I got some people commenting on the Brutus deck saying that this is better than Brutus. I think that it's a good card also. Like, I won't say that it's worse or better, but it's a pretty good card. It has the same kind of special counterblast to Seekers, so it kind of forces you to have to run or commit a lot of Seekers to the deck. But the nice thing about this deck in particular is that there's not a lot of things that counterblast, so most of the time he'll always be able to do his effect. So the other grade 3 is the backup Legion. This one is just the generic 10k Legion featured in the trial deck that came with Wingle and the Seekers and Blaster Blade Seeker. So this guy is in here as a backup Legion. Nice thing about these, a lot of people say, oh, the 10k Legions are useless. They're good. I would say they're pretty good mid-game to rush the opponent. You can apply a lot of pressure. You can get a very powerful attack with this. I mean, most of the time, this thing's going to be attacking for like 27,000 unboosted. That's without a boost. So with any random 5k boost, you're already hitting like 32. With a 7k boost behind this, that's 34. So that makes cross rides look pointless at this point against just a regular 10k Vanguard. Of course, now on defense, you're going to have issues where people are going to try to rush you or try to like hit you back with all their attacks because you're only a 10k. But I mean, obviously the deck also has the Seeker Lightsaber Dragon. He's 11k Vanguard, so we can fix that. So that's basically what and again, it's a budget deck, so this is basically the lineup for grade 3. For grade 2, 4 of the Legion Mate for Seeker Lightsaber Dragon. This is Seeker Light Blaze Dragon, so this is another promo. Nice thing about the promos, when you get them, they always come in pairs, so if you get this, if you pull this, you're guaranteed to pull this, and vice versa. So 4 of this. Nice thing about him, he's kind of like one of those Dimension Police cards. I forgot, I think it's like Die Lady or something. He puts power on another thing, so in a way, I kind of wonder if the deck should try running stands. But you'll see in the trigger lineup, this deck right now, at least the build I'm going for, doesn't run stands. I may take out the draws and swap them for stands. But anyway, that's what I went with. And then next, 4 of the 10k Vanilla Seeker. This is the Legion Mate for the generic 10k Legion that they have. So nothing too special about him. Main thing is, you know, it's a 10k Vanilla. It prevents early game rush. So it's good. It's a defensive card also, even in later on when you're attacking with him as a rear guard. I mean, it's a 10k, so it's harder for the opponent to get rid of than your typical 9k grade 2. Next, 2 Provocation Seeker, Blumental. Weird name, but basically he's another 12k attacker if the Vanguard is Legion. And because we're running 8 Legions, this card, it's a perfect fit. It's just a leftover card that I threw in. And then I did have one leftover full bloom Seeker Cerdic that wasn't in the Brutus deck, so it was available, so I just took it instead of having to run 3 of this. So it's just 2 of this and 1 of him. So that's the grade 2 lineup. He's just your generic 12k attacker for Seekers. So moving on to grade 1s. It's quite similar. Actually, I think there's only one card that's different. So 4 Righteous Seeker Gangaren, or Garen. Every time I hear Garen, I keep thinking of the champion from League of Legends. So anyway, he's here. He's good early game rush. He can hit a grade 2 Vanguard. It's 9k, which is pretty much like 95% of all the decks out there now. And 2 Seeker Youthful Mage. This is the only card that's different from the other grade, like from the Brutus deck. So instead of running the 10k booster, I ran this because there'll be extra counterblast, so you can go for a big push with this thing, boosting. And so it's useful in the rear guard lanes instead of just having to be in the Vanguard lane. And it's a 7k boost without being just a generic 6k boost like the other one. So that's why I went with this. Because the deck does have available counterblast, really these are the only two cards in the whole deck that use counterblast. And plus this one's not limited to a special counterblast, so you can use like any kind of non-seeker in the damage zone to pay the cost. Next, 4 Honest Seekers, Cynric, so just your 10k grade 1 rusher. And then 1 Quintet Wall, the Jewel Knight Gloria, and then 3 Perfect Guard Flash Jewel Knight Iseult. So 1 Perfect Guard is good. 1 Quintet Wall is good. I think this is pretty good. So you'll have the counterblast for just the 1. So for the trigger lineup, I went with the 4 Seeker draws, 4 Seeker criticals, and then 4 more criticals. So these are Jewel Knight criticals. So 8 critical, 4 draw, and then 4 of the Seeker heal. Now, you can run 12 critical in here, and I think it'll still work. Really, he's the only one that has the requirement for the special counterblasting. But I think with only just like 4 non-Seekers, plus the 4 Sentinels that are not Seeker, that's like 8 cards in the whole deck. That's not too big of a deal. But if you go up to, if you run like 12 crit, or like, yeah, 12 crit, then you may have the occasional issue where you don't have the counterblast, because it is a counterblast too. Just keep that in mind. And the starter is the starter that I was talking about earlier. So starting legend, Ambrosius. This is a starter from the Mega Trial deck, also known as the Daigo Trial deck. I think for now, until we get set 16, this will be one of the better starters for Royal Paladin Legion. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the deck. So far, in playtesting, it's pretty good. I'm thinking the only change I might make is I might take out the draws for the Seeker stand trigger and try that, because it seems like it could benefit from running 8 critical and 4 stand. But let me know in the comments what you would change. And as always, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.